Listening on Audible helps your imagination soar. Whether you listen to stories, motivation, expert advice, any genre you love, you can be inspired to imagine new worlds, new possibilities, new ways of thinking. There's more to imagine when you listen. Listening can really lead to positive changes in your mood, your habits, and ultimately your overall well-being. I've been wanting something fun and light for the summer, so I started listening to The Stench of Honolulu by Jack Handey, who, of course, is from Saturday Night Live. We all remember Deep Thoughts. And it's true. I really feel like my imagination is bursting at the seams right now.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases.
New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Listening on Audible helps your imagination soar. Whether you listen to stories, motivation, any genre you love, you can be inspired to imagine new worlds, new possibilities, new ways of thinking. Maybe you'll find inspiration in the incredible true story of Black female mathematicians at NASA in Hidden Figures, or the fantasy world of Throne of Glass. There's more to imagine when you listen. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500.
Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens? Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens?
Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Happens. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't hear part 1. Guys, it's because we put out a lot of recaps. Go back and listen to part 1, okay? It's before this one. Bye. Enjoy the show. So they're like, should she just quit drinking? And Gina thinks she should have gone to rehab. And Gina's like, she spiraled right into a house.
I mean, and Emily goes, can you imagine Archie in the backseat? He's just like, what the fuck? We just hit a house. I mean, he's like, 10 and 2, Shannon, 10 and 2, which I was laughing. I felt so bad. The dog being a backseat driver.
I was laughing too. It's just funny to me the ways that the rules vary on these shows. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like, oh my God, you're making fun of addiction. And then sometimes it's like, 10 and 2, Shannon.
Yeah, but also, by the way, if Emily had made that joke to Gina, she'd be like, it's not fair. You're joking about something and I could have lost
I have kids.
I feel bad. So, anyway, Gina's saying, Emily asked what's going on with her. And she goes, well, I mean, I love Travis. And like the hottest part about my relationship is not my relationship. And Emily's like, it's the outside factors. Yeah. The problem was Emily, it's like when we started dating 4.5 years ago, we were both freshly divorced. And now everything with Matt is wonderful and we're co-parenting. But the problem is that Travis is still getting dragged down by his baggage and he's not fully through his divorce and he can't get to, So basically the issue is the ex-wife. It's too much with the ex-wife for Gina. Too much.
It's a messy, messy situation with Travis and the ex. I was looking it up to see what they were talking about. And she's posting like, well, Travis, if you have such a problem, just sign the divorce papers. Like he apparently won't sign the divorce papers. And then he's trying to get a restraining order on her. And he's claiming, this was from last year, but he's claiming she got pulled over for drugs and she got arrested for drug possession. But she was pulled over for having lorazepam, which is like an anxiety medication. And she didn't have her prescription on her, but then it was dropped once she did have. He knew it was a prescribed drug, but he's still trying to make it sound like she's some kind of a drug addict. And then she was bringing Gina's DUI into the. I mean, it's messy. It's a messy situation. But he, for some reason, won't sign the papers, and people are speculating that it's because he wants child support, or he's pretending he refuses to get a job so he doesn't have to pay her child support. I mean, the whole thing is just fucking messy. And honestly, I don't love Gina on the show, but I don't blame her for not wanting any.
So I don't blame her either. I think that like it's too much, and it's like, at a certain point you've got to be like, I can't deal with this. But that being said, I do think the irony is rich. We want to talk about eye for an eye. Last season, Gina basically ended her friendship with Heather because Heather said, listen, you've got to stop talking to Travis about Matt. His name is Matt, right? You got to stop talking to Travis about your ex because he's not your therapist. And eventually he's not going to hear it anymore. He's going to want to go. And she got so mad. And now she's like, yeah, your ex is too much for me. I'm going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a good situation, but it's also like you moved your kids into it too. So these kids have all been living together and growing up together for a long time. So it's like, I don't know, it's an awkward situation all the way around, So, but also she's got another job now. She's possibly making more money and back on her feet and doesn't necessarily need to share a 2-bedroom with somebody and their kids. So, who knows what it is with Gina, because Gina, I don't know, you never know. So anyway, Emily's like, so what does your gut tell you need to do? I don't know that I would trust Gina's gut. Can I just say? I don't know. I don't think we should be asking our guts. My gut just lies to me constantly.
Yeah. I think Gina's instincts have not always been great. So
hey, gut, what should I do? Pizza. Just said pizza.
Yeah, I had that gut reaction 4 nights ago. So now we go to Jen and Ryan at Las Brisas. It's a Mexican restaurant that I've actually been to. It's good, everyone. Just a little an endorsement from Ben Mandelker for Las Brisas. So Jen and Ryan are sitting down and they're settling in and everything. And she's like, he's like, hey, she's like, you can have a drink tonight? He's like, yeah, because you know where I'm gonna take you later. Where? Downtown. Oh my God, thank you so much for that vulgar joke. I really appreciate that. It was like very funny.
So this guy showed up with a new wig.
Yeah.
Like, this guy looks like he's undercover, and he looks just so guilty. And we know that he's going through a lot of like legal issues or whatever, but he's just like, yeah, everything's great. Everything's great. So glad we have all this money that was totally gotten by legal means and not doing anything fraudulent. This was funny. I'm going to go down on you later, honey.
Yeah. So she's saying, she's like, I just need to slow down. Like, there's like so much going on. I feel like everything's like so busy all the time. He's like, yeah, I know it's tough right now. Your divorce isn't final, and it falls on you because it all falls on you because you want to keep the kids during all this. Yes, thank you so much for understanding that. Like, I don't want to make our date about being a downer, but we are going to need to have this conversation because I got to figure out what the kids and I are going to do.
It's just been really hard, like teaching all of those classes. I mean, the parking lot was so busy the other day. I had to teach my yoga class level 1 in a handicapped space. I mean, it just felt really awkward, Ryan. Really, really awkward. And now, I have to catch myself up on rent because I think it's like $24,000 or something. And then she tells us that she's still not divorced, and Will hasn't turned in his financials, and he was supposed to be paying most of her rent, but then he stopped. And she didn't even know until she started getting emails or texts from the landlord, like, I got part of the rent. Where's the rest of the rent?
Yeah, the issue is that the house that she had been in, she got kicked out of because the owner decided to sell it. So Gina helped her find a new house. And now Will isn't working for the family anymore. Like, Will doesn't have the money. She doesn't have the money. It's the classic Orange County tale of living beyond your means.
Oh my gosh. This is so stressful. Oh,
it is stressful. You got to hand it to Gina. I mean, one thing that Gina did do was that she downsized, and we gave her, we made fun of her a lot for her tiny house. And it definitely became a storyline with Shannon about like the size of her house. But Gina did say, okay, these are the means I got to live in, and she's lived in them,
Yeah.
So Jen is like, She's like, I just feel like I'm asking you and my dad to catch me up, but like, I still can't even breathe because like next month rolls around and my dad's footing my attorney bills. And, you know, she says she's only getting $50 a class at the yoga studio, which we were always like, how is she like, how is the yoga studio? Is this really going to be able to fund this whole house and all these kids? It turns out, no, it's not.
And Ryan's like, why don't you guys just move in with me, honey? It sounds like a great idea. She's like, but are you really thinking about it? He's like, it's only logical. And she's like, but what if we fall apart? Then we can't stay there. I mean, I have to figure out another plan, Ryan. I can't. He's like, hold on. Bloop. Ryan, your limp penis picture is not going to do any good right now, Ryan.
He's like, what could go wrong? I have a lot of money coming from a really good source that surely will not land me into any sort of hot water. It's going to be great. Nothing will fall apart.
Yikes. Jeez. So he's like looking terrified.
Grand slam.
Both of them look literally terrified and they just hold hands. They're like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I mean, this show, we have watched the demise of so many people on this show. It's like Game of Thrones almost, where you just watch the show and you just wait for everything to go to shit because it always does on this show.
Yeah.
But this happened quickly. Really quickly.
Listen, we all lived through Lynn Curtin. And we've been waiting. Yeah, speaking of Game of Thrones, like, you know, there was Aegon the Conqueror, and then they waited centuries for Jon Snow, and we had Lynn Curtin, and now we have Jen. So,
that's true.
Lynn Curtin was the original Aegon the Conqueror, and Jen is now here to pick up the pieces, and not pieces, but the reins, and continue on. So. Anyway, poor Jen, her life is falling apart. So now we go to Heather, who has more. She could buy and sell Jen's house 20 times over. And she's at a bar ordering an espresso martini. This is perfect for Heather. Heather's favorite thing is to swoop in. Like, next thing you know, we're going to have a scene next week of Heather, like, outfitting Jen in her old prom dress, right? She's like, oh, this old thing, I decided to get rid of it. Jen, you put it on. You're perfect. You're like a little me now. Now I control everything you do.
She's like, oh, you know how on your Instagram page it shows you things? Well, on my Instagram page, guess what it's showing me? Mother and son dances. Could you imagine giving your son over to some hoe?
Hoe it's a slang I learned. It's like you click on one picture of Reba McEntire to see what she's up to lately and if she has any casting notices. And next thing you know, it's mother son dances. I don't even understand the correlation, but it just happened.
Oh, so then Alexis comes, dun dun dun, and Heather's gossiping about Shannon, of course, and she's like, "We barely speak, and it's very nice of me to invite her to a party because I don't want her to be kicked out when she's down, and I don't want her to be left out either, and I want to watch her suffer, as everyone calls her a drunk. But now for inviting her, I'm the asshole." And then we see a clip of Heather FaceTiming Shannon and being like, I'm going to invite you to my lunch, poor person. Okay. Hopefully you take a bicycle there. Okay. Also, Alexis Bellino is coming. Hope you don't mind. And Shannon's like, how dare you? I will maybe possibly come.
Shannon's brain was saying,
I can't even believe it. This is absolutely disrespectful. The things that the ball she got rolling with that lawsuit, this slut who took my John Jansen.
But what she actually says is,
oh, I'll think about it.
Yeah. I will have to think about that and get back to you politely. Heather Dubrow. And Heather's like, how dare she? How dare she?
Listen, I don't want to kick her when she's down. I just want to publicly humiliate her. So Alexis comes in and Heather's like, obviously I have a long history with Alexis. And we see a flashback of Alexis and Heather fighting, and Alexis saying, I probably had the worst year of my life, you know. And I'm sorry, Alexis probably did say that somewhere, but Heather says, Alexis had probably the worst year of her life. Her mother, who she was very close with, passed away. She needs friends right now. And the producer said, I have to have dinner with her. So I want to provide that for her.
I was going to say, are we supposed to believe that Heather well, I guess they have stuff in common. They have a trans child in common, right? They both have a trans child.
Yes, I think that's probably,
Which I guess would be a big bonding thing. Because my first thing is like, these two are friends, but I guess that would be a pretty big bonding moment, huh?
I just have memories of them having a huge fight. Were they in Mexico? Were they in Guatemala? No, they were in Mexico, right? Like, I just remember, they just never quite got along. But I can
Yeah, I can't imagine these two as friends, but I guess that would bond you, you know.
They were in Mexico. That's where Alexa said she wanted to go to the city of Guatemala, I believe. because Alexis had said on that vacation that she brought her fake wedding ring because she keeps her real one in the vault, and Heather was outraged by that or something like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just remember it was never good with those two. So Emily's starting to make small talk with Alexis, and Heather's like, well, you've had a lot of life changes, Alexis. And Emily's like, oh, let me just ask you, can I ask you about the ring that John got you? And then we see a split screen with the ring, and it says, hashtag not engaged, hashtag promised. Alexis really is a fucking asshole. Alexis and John Jansen are such assholes for this. They really behaved like absolute fucking monsters on social media.
And Alexis has been a monster for so long, we just sort of have forgotten about it, but she has been an asshole. Like, that was always her thing. She was such an asshole. So Alexis, the producers, I love them. They start playing this sort of like seductive music. November 18th is the day that John Jansen walked into my life. I met John at the Quiet Woman. Shannon does not own the Quiet Woman. I've been going there for over 2 decades. But anywho, John walks in and ends up sitting in my booth. And we just tried to fight the feelings. But like after week 2, John and I knew that was it.
I don't know, Shannon. I'm not friends with Shannon. And unfortunately, your heart wants what it wants. And here we are. So take us or leave us.
Emily, can I ask you something? And Emily's like,
Yeah.
this is going to be hard for me because I don't want to come in with you like right now, but we probably should have a conversation on the phone because like I heard the podcast you did with Tamara. And we have the podcast of 2 T's in a pod. And Tamara like, hey, so someone wrote a story about John. John was going to be filming. And Emily was basically like, yeah, John's a douche. John's a big doucher.
Unfortunately, it really hurt my feelings, Emily. Like, where did you get your information about John with Shannon? Did you like go out with him? And she's like, I was there. I've been there around John. I've been there for 3 years. And then we see a flashback of John being like, fuck them. Fuck Gina. Who does Gina think the fuck she is? Fuck her. She's not your friend. You're done with her. We're done with her.
Yeah, well, that was a private conversation that Johnny was having with his girlfriend at the time, standing up for her. So I really don't appreciate you calling him a doucher for that.
And she's like, well, you don't understand. For 3 years, Shannon's been telling me nothing except that she pays for everything. He takes advantage of her. She goes, oh, do you just trust a drunk who just got a DUI? Do you trust her opinion? I mean, she's drunk. Dewey. She got a Dewey.
Not to be confused with a Johnny. I got a Johnny. She got a Dewey. So, like, whoa. So Heather's like, the only thing I worry about for you as my friend is it's fast. It's fast. As in these words are coming at you fast. I don't know if you're following along. Do you still understand words, Alexis?
And Alexa's like, just all I ask is that you just give him a chance. And when you get to know him, you're going to love him as much as I do. He's my Johnny J. That's what I call him. He's my Johnny J.
Heather's like, oh, yeah, wow, that Johnny J rebrand is mildly epic. Yeah, he's my Johnny J. So Heather goes, I don't think I've heard a better rebrand since Mayo went to aioli. You guys got that, right? Mayo went to aioli. It's relatable. It's funny. It's content.
Everyone's going to get that in the flyover countries. It's me, relatable, Heather Dubrow.
Ayo, Lee.
Good. Wait, can I ask you a question? How do you feel about seeing Shannon at her party? She's like, here's the thing. I have no ill will. I just want to squash the elephant in the room. I'm going to squash it.
Please tell the elephant.
Let's leave the elephant alone.
I'm just going to, You know what? I want to discuss the beef in the room and squash the elephant. Okay.
And they're like, Shannon's going to freak out. And she's like, well, I'm not going to play into her spiraling. Okay. I'm not going to play into it. So Emily's just looking at her like, who the fuck is this person? Like, I'm used to trash on this show, but this is extra trashy, And I love it.
So now Shannon goes to see her lawyer, Mike, and she's like, Mike, I still struggle with everything that happened. I mean, it took me 3 hours to walk here to this office. And he's like, well, you know what? We learn from these things, right? Legally, professionally. Well, you learn, I capitalize. But anyway, if you successfully complete probation, we can petition the court, you know?
She's like, well, yes, but there's a part of me that wants to accept responsibility for what John Jansen did to me that night by angering me so much.
So I don't want to get any special favors. That would be terrible. Please get this off my record. That would be great.
He's like, well, you know, all you have to do is successfully complete probation. That's something you and everyone else has a right to petition the court for. And by the way, give me that card. I'm going to stamp it. You get a free ice cream today, Shannon. You have been here so many times in the boundary.
I want to know, if they throw away my case, will they also throw away the case of Diet Cokes that Sophie brought into the household? Because I am not in favor of those.
I had to go to an alcohol school that lasts for 9 months, and I have now learned the difference between an espresso martini and a chocolate martini. Both are somewhat delicious, but empty calories.
Also, I've learned that there's a very important distinction between an express martini and an espresso martini. An express martini is something you try to chuck down quickly and drive home before it kicks in. You got to be careful.
And then I'll be doing 40 hours of community service at my church.
That does not count, ma'am. How are you guys letting her serve her community service at her easy fucking church? I'm doing a quote unquote because this is a Shannon Beador church. I'm not even sure what the hell kind of church this is. No, you need to get your ass out there on the freeway and pick up some Bette Midler trash. You need to clean up the streets, the freeways for Bette Midler. She earned this.
Excuse me, I am doing hard work community service. Did you not see my one-woman show, Shannon Does Christmas? Well, I was the Virgin Mary and I was Jesus. Okay, here's a scene from it. Oh my God, I am tired. I need to stop at this hotel. Excuse me, do you have any rooms available? No? Okay, well, that's fine. You can just put me back on a pile of hay. Just discard me in the back. Oh, okay. Oh, you really are going to put me on the hay. That's fine. That's fine. I'll be back here. Well, guess what? I'm pregnant. I guess it was just me being the Virgin Mary. Oh, wait, here we go.
Couldn't talk at that time, so.
I'm born, and I'm going to bring Diet Coke to the world.
Oh, it's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial. Whenever I'm gearing up for my next trip or deciding what to bring is always so stressful. The clothes I have either don't fit, they're worn out, or they just don't match.
But then we discovered Quince. It's our go-to for high-quality vacation essentials we'll be packing for trips to come.
They have European linen shirts and shorts from $30, breathable tees and polos, hard shell luggage, so much more.
The best part, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands.
By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of middleman and passes the savings on to us.
And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I love that.
I do too. I have the most handsome jacket from Quince. You know, I was like, yeah, you know, I'll go shopping at Quince, see what it's like. It's amazing, and I've not stopped shopping since.
Pack your bags with high-quality essentials from Quince.
Go to quince.com/crappens for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/crappens to get free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/crappens.
Temp check. What kind of summer are we having this year? A family road trip summer? A beach bum summer? Or a wake me up when the sun sets summer? With Instacart, choose your own adventure and skip the shopping side quests. Where available, you can get ice cream delivered to your hotel, sunscreen to the pool, or cold brew to your bed. Well, door, in as fast as 30 minutes. Wherever you find yourself this summer, you can get the goods. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
So Mike's like, Shannon, if you're in the position where you can see another person who shouldn't drive and you share your story or you somehow stop them from driving, all of a sudden it'll all be worth something.
Or if I can get people to be inspired not to trigger people when they're in a car that they don't know how fast the car could go if they slam on the gas if they're very angry about it, then hopefully I could save horrible men from doing that to innocent women.
Shannon, why are you making that tapping sound with your foot?
Sorry, I'm just invisibly revving my engine to show that I'm mad. But I'm being responsible because I'm sober. So this car will not drive, this desk will not drive forward.
Shannon does the thing where she goes, I would never drink and drive. I would never do that. I'm like,
you literally did it. You literally did it. And you know Shannon's pissed off that this whole season is about her drunk driving and not finally being at her goal weight. Because Shannon's plot line for years has been being insecure and trying to get back to her goal weight and going to the gym and having trainers be mean to her on camera. And she finally gets to her goal weight and no one even mentions it because we all have to talk about her being drunk. You know, it's like, why? So unfair.
Yeah. So she says, I feel like my whole life is starting over. So I just gotta keep moving forward. Which unfortunately was what got me into this mess in the first place.
Just more slowly. I'm moving forward more slowly and not into things. I'm now moving forward and around.
The key is to move forward and not forward and to the side. You know, when they say you really need to stay in your lane, I really understand that now.
It's literal. It is literal.
So now we cut to Tamara and her daughter, everybody. Welcome Sophia back to the show. Sophia's
Welcome back. The biggest return since Lydia.
So Cameron's like, you look nervous. I'm shocked that you're doing this because you got a fear of needles. Are you nervous? She's like,
thanks for reminding me, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
So Tamara's like, so where are you going to get your tattoo? She's like, I'm thinking on my elbow. She's like, yeah, well, what if you meet a guy who's like, I don't like tattoos on the arm? Do those people exist in Orange County?
I don't like tattoos on the arm. What if you meet one of those guys? What are you going to do with that man?
And she's like, I don't give a fuck.
She goes, oh, hey, what's the language? What's your fucking language, you little trashy bitch?
She's like, I don't care.
I don't care, mother.
I think the tattoo on the arm will be less of an issue than having Tamara as your mother. That'll be the bigger deal breaker.
Yeah, that's a tattoo like on your forehead. You know what I mean?
So Tamara says that she basically says for 10 years, Simon wouldn't allow Sophia to appear on camera, but she's actually been living in the household all that time. And now, ta-da, Sophia's back, as you mentioned.
And Tamara tries it. She's like,
so have you talked to your dad at all?
She goes, I'm not talking about dad, Mom.
Fine. Well, you need to teach me how to do that winged eyeliner thing that you do. That, you know, the thing that makes it look like you have wings?
She goes, take out a fucking eyebrow pencil and you fucking do it, Mom. What the fuck is wrong with you? Fucking moron.
Yeah, she's just like a very kind soul, and like clearly I'm not like that bitch. Like, she's such a good kid. I don't know where the hell it came from, bitch.
And then we see clips of Tamara just being like,
fuck you. Fuck you. That's
all over the screen. All over. So they go to the tattoo shop and, you know, Tamara's talking about how, like, at first, the tattoos on Ryan really bother her, but now she just wants her kids to be able to express themselves. I'm like, I think I could do with a little less expression from Ryan. Okay.
Yeah, I think Ryan needs to not express himself any further. Okay. Ryan needs to keep his expression to the 4chan, you know, boards.
Corner that he's in.
Yes.
He had to talk with Brianna's husband.
Also, I love Sophia's fuck you attitude towards Tamara. I think it's so refreshing, and I love it. It's like karma in teenage form. I think it's so cute. But her moon tattoo is so basic. It's making me rethink Sophia. It's like, what are you going to do now that you're finally getting a tattoo above your arm? I want a moon.
Just in case I forget what that thing is in the sky, I can be like, oh, yeah, it's a moon.
On the other hand, I do like that it's kind of solidarity with Shannon, Tamara's enemy, because Dr. Moon. So never mind. I've rethunk that, Soph.
So Tamara's like,
okay, I want to get a tattoo also. This is how I'm going to express myself. All right, I want a 111 angel numbers. Ha! Because every time I see 111, I always make the same wish. That maybe one day, Sydney will come home, bitch.
Every time a bell rings, it's because there's an angel ambulance about to pick it up because I broke that fucking bitch's wings. Put 111 on here.
So Sophia, she goes,
she's like, I was making the same wish. That one day, your sister Sydney, who hates me talking about her on television, Sydney. I can't wait for Sydney, my daughter who won't speak to me on television, will come home. Sydney. Sydney. Mom, stop saying Sydney.
Home.
Here's Sydney's picture, everybody. This is Sydney. Have you seen Sydney? It's like, man, Tamara really just going to piss this girl off more and more every year.
Mom, why are you doing the ET song again?
Sydney phone home. Sydney phone home.
Mom, stop getting to that bicycle. Take that towel off your head, Mom.
No, Sydney.
Every night, I leave a trail of Reese's Pieces coming from the cul-de-sac all the way through the front door.
Why are you trying to get Sydney to come back?
No, I just want Shannon to crawl over here so I could hit her over the head with an absolute bottle and call her an idiot for getting a DUI. Stupid bitch!
Sometimes when Shannon comes over, I hide in your closet, Sophie, with all your stuffed animals, and see if Shannon can figure out which one is me.
She always gets confused between me and the real baby doll.
What were those real babies that they have? Remember when Tamara got one? She's like,
I'm gonna be pregnant.
So we're just fusing all the stories together. E.T., backstories of Orange County. It's going to be like Kelly Dodd in there. Why am I in this closet?
You're a dork.
You're a dork.
So actually, I had, we used to make ringers for Patreon. We used to have like ringers in our Housewives voices and stuff. And one of them was Leanne. When Leanne went through her, like, I'm a good person now because I go to like naturopaths and stuff. And she had the sound bowl and she would just go, I'm at peace now. Nobody can make me mad. Dong. And so I made a text ring for us. It was dong. And that's been my text ring ever since. I mean, ever since Dallas was on.
Yeah.
But it's so loud. I recorded it so loud and it makes everybody crazy. And when it goes off in the car, it's like, dong, and you'll crash your car, So I just went through there and I switched it to whichever one. I didn't even pay attention. I just had to switch it. And now it's, you're a dork. You're a dork. You're a dork.
Well, I would like it if we had an ET stuffed animal setup with Tamara in the middle and you have like Leanne and Kelly and then just like, like Yogi Bear or something.
The wall of faces is just all the housewives. That's so funny.
Oh gosh. Okay, we're deranged. So
because it's been 10 hours, we're still doing
like, should I go back to my one woman tale of Christmas? So
yes, I didn't even have anything to add to that. I was just like, that was
I'm Jewish. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. This isn't my religion. I've crossed the line.
No, I was into it.
You're just like a kid again. You're like back at church watching the show.
Oh yeah. So Tamara's like,
I'm so happy that you and Spencer are so close. Did you ever think that you guys would be that close?
she's like, no, Spencer's a fucking loser. I hated him when I was younger. What a fucking idiot. She's like,
Yeah. But unfortunately, Sydney's on Simon's side. She didn't speak to us. It's so difficult. It's like a child's dead, but you're still alive. But they're dead too. Ugh.
And Sophia's like, Mom, I'm not your therapist. Okay. Keep these thoughts in your head and talk about them to your therapist.
I loved that. It's like,
She's
Mom.
like, Mom, I'm trying to enjoy my moon tattoo. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now we go to Gina's house. So Gina and Travis sit down and they're talking about like this situation and moving the house. And like, obviously Travis wants to stay together. He's like, we've spent all, 4.5 years trying to build this nucleus of a family and like, it's awesome. But like, you're like, whether you think you're doing this or not, you're pulling apart this family. Sorry, I'm like burping into the microphone. It's disgusting, but it's sort of like a reaction I have to Gina's scenes anyway.
So, he's like, you're breaking this family apart. It's like,
but you gotta move out, Triumph.
and she says, her kids have been through so much since her divorce, but as a parent, you have to do things that don't feel good because it's in the best interest of everybody, even when it hurts. And she's like,
I'm a huge businesswoman now because of Cara Gala, and I gotta think about the
Yeah. And so he basically is like, no, I don't want to go. Right. But she's just saying, no, this is what we have to do. So it's sort of sad.
It's not really explained except that he's in a weird relationship. But I'm very curious. It's definitely has my curiosity.
I would say this, if you don't know the backstory. So my mindset was, because I didn't know the backstory. I knew he had like issues with his ex, but I thought like, it's kind of shitty because they both have brought lots of baggage from their previous relationships, and she dumped a lot of her baggage on him. And now it's like she's like, he has baggage and she's like, peace out, which I thought was shitty. But now that you told the backstory, I'm like, what probably is that this ex sounds like I don't know. It's a messy situation, and it sounds like the kids are maybe getting dragged into it. And Gina's like, no, got to protect the kids. Got to get them out of here.
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying, but like we looked at Gina last year, or all the seasons she's been with Travis, and she obviously doesn't have chemistry with Travis. I mean, that's kind of a common thing that people comment on the show. It's a common thing that people comment on this show. There's not really any chemistry there. And especially when you see her back around Matt, and all the drama that went with Matt, they obviously still have some kind of chemistry. I mean, they've been friends for years. And so you see her and I'm not saying she should be back with Matt or anything like that. I'm not a monster, but you see the difference is what I'm saying. So I don't think anyone's shocked that it's not really working out. And she did meet him when she was really down. I mean, she was going through it, and he does act kind of as her therapist and her sounding board and all of that. And maybe now, it's like she's a little healed and she's ready to kind of fly the the coop. Fly the nest.
Stay tuned, everyone. Now back to more.
Well, I have to say, it's the most interesting Gina's ever been. And whoever knew that it would be from dumping Matt? But I'm curious.
We'll see. So now we go. Now it's time to get ready for Heather's luncheon. So Tamara's getting ready. Tamara's getting ready at her place, and she's like tells Eddie that Shannon's gonna be there. He's like, Shannon's gonna be there. Like, how are you gonna handle it? She goes, I'll be cordial to her, and that's it, bitch. Because it's not a good relationship. Honestly, it's very toxic. You married 3 Mile Island. What are you talking about? Toxic. Come on, man.
You married Silkwood. Can we get the fuck over it?
You married.
Also, you're toxic. Fucking talking shit about a woman all the time, Eddie. Just shut up, okay? Just be quiet. So, Shannon is like, oh, I brought a dress. It's a little tight. Woo! Woo! Look at me trying to be in distress. Wacky Shannon. I can't fit the dress. Anybody gonna laugh at this? Well, this is fun doing a scene basically by myself.
I decided to go because I am not going to appear weak, okay? Although I do believe my immune system has been weakened by the excessive amounts of Diet Cokes in my house, but that's a different story.
The only thing weak in this house is that house that I clipped. I mean, it fell apart like a fucking loser. I mean, get it together.
Oh, but am I looking forward to it? No. Would I rather get a root canal? Yes. Would I actually schedule root canals every year because I believe that there are beneficial aspects to it for your whole body. And never mind, I'm just going to move forward. Diet Coke's the worst thing in the world.
Oh, gosh. And of course, everybody's going to want to know, ooh, Shannon. Ooh, Alexis. Ooh, Shannon.
I love that Shannon has been a housewife long enough to kind of enjoy the fact that she gets the center square this year. She gets the center orange, and she knows the whole party's going to be about her. She's getting all dolled up for it while saying that she doesn't want to go. So then we cut to everybody getting ready. Jen's with Ryan, and she's like, well, I mean, I feel like I'm okay with everybody. Maybe not Gina. I mean, I didn't get a text back from Gina, but I don't really know what's going on with her. So we cut to Gina, and
Gina says that she's bringing her, right, and she's saying that she's going to be bringing her friend Katie, who's the new cast member. So this is Katie's way in is through Gina, which is weird. It's weird because what we later find out is that Katie is friends with Sutton Strack, who is like one of the wealthiest people on Beverly Hills, and yet she's coming into Orange County through one of the poorest people on the cast, although now only second poorest. So congratulations, Gina, you moved up the ladder.
Katie looks familiar, right? Has she been on TV before?
I wonder. She does look familiar. I immediately liked her, by the way. I just want to say I feel like she has disdain, and I appreciate that. Like it just oozes out of her, and I love a disdainful cast member.
Well, I read in an article, I read a headline. I didn't read the article. Who am I kidding? But the headline said that Heather calls Katie Noella 2.5 or 1.5.
Perfect.
Or something like that.
Perfect. So then Eddie Tamara says that Alexis Bellino's going to the party, and he's like, what? He's like, so you guys are in a good spot. She's like, yeah, we were in Las Vegas at BravoCon, and like we made up and like we talked, and we realized like we don't have to like each other. We just have to both go against Shannon. And it worked.
And he's like, don't get too close to Jesus jugs, honey, okay? I don't trust her.
Who does he want her to get close to? Every single season, it's like, don't talk to her. She's not good for you.
I know, but Tamara's the one ruining everybody's lives at all times.
Yeah.
God, I want an enabler. I just need an enabler. Why do I have to know such fucking honest people? So anyway, Emily and Alexis are driving over, and Emily's like, wait, what's going on, Alexis? And Alexis is like, I need to have an espresso martini. Actually, she said espresso properly, which I was shocked. I have to give her credit for that. But she's like, I need an espresso because I had a sleepover last night. And Emily's like, oh, God, because you had sex with John so many times. Oh. Did I mention the anal sex alluding scene I shot with Shane earlier? Hilarious.
Use a Theragun. And Alexis is like, yeah, we had a lot of, yeah, you know, Johnny J is so good at it. So then we go to Gina picking up Katie, and Katie says, I met Gina because I was talking to my friend Sutton about moving to Orange County, and she said, yeah, my friend Gina's an agent down there. You should really reach out. And then she laughed and laughed and laughed. And then she said, I'm sorry. Go on. You were talking about something. And then I started to speak, and she goes, I'm sorry. I keep on laughing. It's so rude of me. That's how I first heard about Gina.
And Katie's like, so we met up and had coffee, and I just love Gina's zest. I guess you could say for life.
Also, she had a 6-pack of Zest soap on the table. She said she just picked it up from Walgreens.
You tell me you've hardly ever talked to Gina without telling me you've ever heard it. I just really loved her
zest.
It's literally the only thing she could afford on the menu. When we went to a coffee shop, she said, I don't want an espresso. I just want a zest.
Just the zest on the side, please. So then Gina's excited. She's talking to basically the PA who's driving the car. She's like, oh my God, Colleen, this is Katie. She's my friend. I got a friend, Colleen. Colleen's like, please shut up. I'm trying to listen to my book on tape in my ear.
And Gina's like, I like that she's young. She's my age. 39, girlfriend, not 59. Shut up, Gina. You're going to be there soon enough, okay? She's like, I just want to live in my youth a little longer. You live in a 2-bedroom with 6 children. It's over, okay? Your youth is gone. Just say bye to it.
How is Kristen Doty older than both of these women? It's just blowing my mind. So now Gina is like, I'm going to warn you. Shannon had dated this guy named John Jansen, and they broke up. So there's this other woman, and I don't know her. Her name is Alexis. And they started dating, and they're like, they went from 0 to 10, 100, and like Shannon's going to be there today. And like, so was Alexis. And Katie's like, wow, I guess this is newbie hazing, huh? Hashtag zest.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Byte, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Byte clear aligners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces. Plus, they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you can pay with your HSA FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
So then back to Alexis and Emily. Alexis is like, so can you fill me in on Shannon's headspace, please?
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know if anybody could fill you in on what's going on in Shannon's head.
And Shannon's just like with Pamela.
Like, excuse me. Okay, so I know I said I don't want a Diet Coke, but could you just put one, just stuff it right in my dress, just in case I need it, just right there on the side. It won't stick out, Pamela.
And Shannon's in full-on wacky Shannon mode. She's like, I don't want wrinkles on my dress. Ooh, I'm going to stand like this, like a board. I'm standing like a board. I do not want wrinkles. Oh, Pamela, look. Pamela, look, I'm not moving, Pamela. And it just cuts to Pamela full-on ignoring her.
I know. Alexis is like, you know what? I'm going in with an open heart and an open mind. And like, I hope Shannon can too, because I don't know what I'm walking into. I just imagine an old lady who's depressed and lost the best man she could have ever gotten in her life. It's just it could be a weird reaction.
So then we hear a song. We lit. And then we go to Balboa Bay. Dun dun dun. And Heather's prepping for the party.
We're gonna party till out the sun come up. And just like a Heather luncheon. So Heather's like, I know some people, Emily, think I'm crazy about party details, but at this party, there's no logos, no initials, no cucumbers, and no sand. The only thing I do have is an aioli station, so that way more people get my jokes in the future.
So people start arriving, and Heather meets Katie. She's like, Sutton says great things about you. I'm possibly going to be on her show. So nice to meet you for now. I'll probably know you for about 6 more minutes before the producers call and move me to Beverly Hills. Go ahead. Try to have a scene.
I believe we're going to be doing what this is. This is sort of it's like a special trade, you know. Beverly Hills sends someone down to Orange County, and Orange County sends someone up to Beverly Hills. So it was nice to meet you, but I'm most assuredly going to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills now.
So Katie's like, I've met Heather before very briefly, but this is the first time she said hello back.
That's oh my god. The bros really know how to do a party. There's like lots of stations, like a lot of stations. And we see that there's like a tarot card reader and a permanent jewelry thing and a wishing wall. And there's like a lot of instructions and like things that you have to do at a Heather DeBrell party. I'm like, I think I'd like it better than a Gina party where there's just like 3 streamers and a bowl of punch.
At a house that you borrowed from your friend.
Hawking Carabella.
She's like, listen, at my parties, you know, there's a slide everyone could go down because it's a public park. I mean, it's as simple as you can get. So
Heather's like, okay, everyone, guest attendees at this fabulous, carefree, and casual party. Every lady gets 3 wishes, and they will be revealed later. And the wish that's the most wishiest gets to be a servant in my house. Okay, go to it.
I just want to announce before we do it, no one is getting the 3rd gate code to my community. So,
oh, look, I have a wish right here. It says, I wish to have Richard Marx perform a song in my basement. Well, ladies, you're in luck. Please follow me into the kitchen where Richard Marx is not only making fajitas, but also ready to sing a beautiful ballad to you. Thank you.
Gina is also dressed like a flesh-colored thing that comes over you on the roller coaster, like to keep you strapped in. I forget what those things are called.
Like a safety bar.
She looks crazy. She looks like a Band-Aid. And she's trying to be bitchy, which Gina's always funny to me when she tries to be bitchy because, I don't know, it just doesn't work like catty. You know what I mean? It's just like trying to be like funny and catty, but it never works. She's like, who did Jen bring? Oh, I don't know any of Jen's friends. It's like, ooh, dis. You got her, Gina. So then she tells us the story about why she hates Jen now. So she gets a call over the summer from Jen. I need your help. Thank you in advance. Thank you. Because I need to be out of my house in a week. Thank you. And then it cuts to Jen at the tarot card reader table. And the tarot card person told her things were changing for the good. And she goes, so I helped her. But then I get CC'd on all these emails about her falling behind on her rent. And that's stressful for me because I vouched for her.
As a new real estate agent, any negative press is bad. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Gina, that you might be getting some bad press on your new real estate agent job while Jen is getting evicted from her house and has looking for a roof for her kids. Gina spends years talking about the struggle of like having to do what you have to do for your kids. And then someone else is in the exact same position. And she's like, oh my God, I'm getting emails about it. I don't like that. I hate her now. I was like, what happened to your empathy, Gina?
Yeah. So then Jen comes over to Gina and wants to meet Katie. And she's like, I don't even know if Jen is aware that there's an issue. And she's like, this isn't the time of play. She's like, what am I supposed to do? Say, oh, Jen, can you pass a crab leg? How's your eviction going?
I don't know. I think this is like so shitty of Gina. And I also think that this is totally in line with her pattern of that she really does take things from friendships. But then when she is required to like give something back, she's just out of there. And she actually resents people who need her in those moments.
You know, people often, this is one of those where people are like, why are you so mean to Gina? Like, what did Gina ever do? Gina's an asshole. She's not a nice person. She's a terrible friend, and she's an asshole, and she's a hypocrite. And this is a perfect example of it. She's like poor shaming somebody after her whole storyline for seasons has been about poor Gina has to do everything on her own and na. And here's someone going through a divorce and having to deal with all of this shit, and also a horrible man, which you should also be able to identify with. And you're just kicking them while they're down. You're a shithead. You're not a nice girl, okay?
Yeah, I think it's like really. I mean, she literally like one of the rips between her and Shannon was because Shannon made some comment about the size of Gina's house, and Gina was furious about it, and like that was a wedge between them. And now here's Gina, like if anything, if you have a client, if you helped place a client, aren't you going to try to help them out so that way they could be future business down the road, especially if you know you're on a show together, et cetera, et cetera. I just think it's just really, really shitty.
Yeah. So then Tamara gets a hole in her pantyhose, and Heather's like, do you want me to send someone out for a hose? You hoe. That is hilarious. I said hoe. Me, Heather Dubrow. I've said hoe twice this episode. I learned it on Instagram.
Hey, what is a prostitute's favorite condiment? A holy.
No, a holy. Get it? Get it, everybody?
No, I said a holy. Did I say it too quickly so it sounded only like aioli?
Yes.
Well, maybe next time people listen to what the hostess says. Hostess! Oh my God, another one. 2 for 1. Hostess. Except I'm not a hoe.
Speaking of holy, have you seen my one-man nativity scene? Oh God, not now. Not now, Shannon.
What if I said that there was a part available for you in it?
Well, have you spoken to my agent about it yet?
Please check my IMDb.
Is Taylor Armstrong attached?
Oh God, not again. Okay, so Alexis and Tamara are like hugging, and Alexis like, Tamara, Barney, oh my gosh, have we had our downside? Yes. And then we see, get the fuck out of my Cut Fitness opening. That Cut Fitness opening where Tamara's acting so snotty and king of the world when the floor was slanted. It was not a slant.
And she's like, you know what? Have we shit on each other? Yes. And we see Tamara being like, la la la, get out, bitch. But you know what? I'm so thankful for our friendship now. And she's just patented, she just patented these boobs Jesus jugs. And like, thank you very much, because they are beautiful, aren't they? Look at my beautiful boobs. And, Alexis is like shaking her boobs and showing them up and everything. Very proud of them. As she should be. So now they're all just like schmoozing and talking and joking, and they're getting espresso martinis and things like that. And Emily is, drinking hers and everything. And now they start talking about Shannon. And Heather's like, well, Shannon said she doesn't drink anymore. Oh, really? Because she told me she has a maximum of 2 drinks a day. And Tamara's like,
per hour? 2 drinks per hour. Get it?
So they all cheers each other and like laugh. Mock Shannon and Emily, they have put like stickers in the drink that say the year or something, and they taste like crap. So Emily spits it out. She's like, ooh. And so then we go to Shannon arriving, and she's like, well, after my DUI, I've really kept a close circle around me, mostly of seatbelts, because I learned to wear those. Those are important. Who knew? Airbags, real close circle of airbags. Those things come out very, very quickly.
I keep a very close circle around me, mainly a steering wheel that's wedged on my foot. Specifically, it's a circle, and it's wrapped around my foot.
I don't know where everyone stands with me at this point, but I do know people will probably be judging me. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Pamela, you walk in first, because I just want to see how they react to you.
I'm going to walk behind you. Just be bigger. Be bigger. Put your arms out.
Hey, why don't you just go in there and say, I'm Shannon, and see if they throw any hard-boiled eggs at you.
So they watch her walk in, and Gina's like, I can't help it. I always feel bad for her. And Shannon, meanwhile, is they have one of those 360
oh my God
things
I am
where you stand on it and the camera goes around you really fast.
But of course, it's a Heather Dubrow party, so she puts it outside on like the balcony where it's completely backlit. So Shannon does the I'm having fun, I'm on a 360, and we see the 360, and it's just like this shitty backdrop, and it's just a shadow. It's just like all Shannon all silhouetted because the sun is blaring right into the 360.
Also, the woman just got a DUI. Can we not try to make her dizzy right off the bat? Like, this show is so bullying.
Oh, I feel like I'm back in the car again.
So now, it's like a lot of small talk, and Emily talking, them talking about how hot Alexis is and like how it sucks watching John leave Shannon for someone so hot. And Emily's like, yeah, like I won't leave Shane because he'd go for some 25-year-old. Shane is not going to get a 25-year-old.
He's going to get a 25-year-old ottoman at best. Okay. He is not.
The only thing 25 about Shane is his latest Costco shirt.
Yeah, he is not pulling 25-year-olds. Okay. So anyway, people come in. Gina's doing her role. I feel bad. That's like her other thing too. She's obnoxious. Then goes, I just feel bad. So Gina's saying that she just feels uncomfortable for Shannon. Shannon's like, well, I don't care. Like, I am out of my relationship with John Jansen, and I'm grateful that I'm out of it. Hold on 1 second. I think he may be calling. Nope, it's literally no one calling on my phone. Not anyone. Not a child. Not John Jansen.
So she tells Katie, she's like, I got a DUI, and that has just been the most humiliating, shameful. I've literally been in the darkest time that I've ever been in. And I think this had to happen for me to literally cut it clean and never go back. Never go back. Hold on, I have a text. It might be John. John! It wasn't. That wasn't even my text. Whose was that? Please turn your ringers off.
Shannon, you just picked up a dinner roll.
Oh, you were absolutely right. It wasn't even a phone.
So, Shannon's
like, it was just the darkest time. I don't think you understand the sadness of the situation.
Katie's like, well, I did have to have a one-on-one with Gina before I came on the show.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. You are going through something a little tough.
Have you been to her house yet?
No.
Then shut up, Katie. You're new here.
So
Gina's like, well, I mean, look, you look great. You're obviously making good changes. Thank you. I am trying.
And Emma's like, yeah, you look really good. So all that matters is that she looks good right now, I guess.
Yeah. And Gina's like,
I never want anything bad for you, even though I just said it's an eye for an eye and karma, bitch, And Shannon's like, well, you and I had some really good fun times together. I hope we can go there again.
Yeah, until she betrayed you and ran over you and left fucking tire marks on your back for literally no reason. Please stay away. And Gina's like, oh, go ahead.
No, I was thinking that, like, fun times, good times are like children, and we had to protect them. I just wish there was like a CPS for fun times. Oh, did I'm sorry, Gina. I should not. I promise I would never say that again.
Wow, where are you going? The cops were called on me when I got my DUI quicker than Child Protective Services would have been called by from literally anybody had I not saved your ass that morning.
Huh. That's too bad CPS can't be called on John Jansen because last time I checked, he was the child here.
Wow, I haven't had to call that lawyer since I saved your ass that time you got a DUI. That was fun times. Oh, bonding. Hope we can go to lunch soon.
Does anyone want to hear my one-woman nativity scene? It's getting kind of awkward in here.
I brought Jesus, incense, and myrrh.
More than David ever brought me, I'd like to add up.
So Gina's like,
okay, but last year really threw me for a loop.
And she's like,
well, I apologize for any and everything that I ever did to hurt you, Gina.
And Gina goes, what? Thank you.
Just because I do not want to hurt people, even stupid poor ones who don't appreciate all the help and support I've given them in the past.
I literally can't believe this is happening. Honestly, I never expected Shannon to apologize to me, and I don't even know what to do with this. Wait, I have an idea. I'll use it against her for the rest of the season. Okay, great. That's what.
Yeah, I would love to know why Shannon's apologizing to you, because I certainly don't remember her ever having a reason to. Do you?
Well, I'm taking the 12 steps these days Not the program. I'm just taking 12 steps to get to the beach and go, slut. And then I take 12 steps and go back inside.
I'm taking 1 step for every dollar Gina has in her purse. Okay, so,
frankincense, it's not great.
All right, well, we'll talk later, Gina. I've spent enough time on you. It's like, okay, Shannon, you're forgiving, kind of, maybe. Okay, God, that was so brave. Good for you. So, now Shannon's like, I'm going to have a conversation with Alexis Smelly Eno. Okay, so wish me luck. So she's like, hello, Alexis. And Alexis is like, yeah. And then John stood on his head and we still made out. He's got such good balance. Sorry for interrupting you.
Alexis is like regaling with John tales.
So they're gonna go have this conversation, and she's like, "Should I do it outside?" And he goes, "Yeah, but do it in good lighting, though." So they go outside, and they're going outside, and they want to go in the shades. They're pulling a table to the shade.
This was so funny how they're like resetting the scene.
Shannon's like, we are not going to stand in the sun. I've had to put up with enough this year. We are moving it. Anybody going to move the table? Nobody's going to help. So thanks a lot, production. Pamela, you want to? No? Okay. Well, I guess I will be dragging this table over.
Okay, Alexis. So, Alexis, would you please stop moving? What she is running around me. She's taunting me in a circle.
You're just looking at the 360.
You're right. That's not Alexis.
So Alexis goes, oh God, we should go into the shade. This is probably going to be a long conversation.
Well, I don't think so. I don't.
Meanwhile, all the ladies are gathering at the window. They're like, oh my God, why'd they go so far away? I can't even see them, bitch.
They're like pressed up against the leftmost window of the room, just trying to get like a glimpse of Alexis's elbow.
So funny.
So Shannon's like,
okay, so hi. I don't want to get into a deep conversation with you, but there are a couple of things that I would like to say. I have been upset that you were involved in the lawsuit where your husband sued me, and as a single mom for 3 years, I don't want to tear up. I feel it. I feel moisture on my cheeks. Oh, you know what? That was the Diet Coke from earlier. Delicious, actually. No sugar in this, really? Huh.
As a mother who has played Jesus and Mary, I would just like to say that for 3 years being single and a mother, it has been so difficult being a single and a mother. And for you to lawsuit me as a mother who is single, how dare you? How dare you?
And meanwhile, you just see Tamara's nostrils up against a window.
And she's like, I lost $300,000 defending myself for something that I didn't even do. And you started the lawsuit by sending me a cease and desist letter. So in my eyes, you are part of it, Alexis.
And Alexis is just looking at her like,
what?
I can be in a room with you, but just here's this. Here's a cease and insist that I am not interested in being best buddies, and I hope you can understand that. Ha!
Here's a cease and a list. I don't know what that means, but it sounded good. Please do not try to be my friend any further. I will not be friends with you.
Here is a crease, and I insist that Pamela get out here and iron it real quickly. Do you have a steamer, anyone?
Here's a sneezed and a Kleenex. Achoo! Oh, thank you. I will not be your friend.
Alexis is like, okay. So she's like,
literally nobody asked you to be her friend, but
she's
okay.
Like, I'm not asking to be best buddies. I know this is uncomfortable for both of us when you're the ex and I'm the new. You're the old and I'm the young. You're the wrinkly, I'm the less wrinkly. And it's awkward. I get it.
Now, the lawsuit, like if you go back to any court documents, like they'll show for you, there will be no proof of my name being on anything because Jim and I had been divorced for 6 months. So, Shannon, we're not longer. Shannon, it's my turn to talk. I didn't speak when you spoke, so it's my turn now to speak when you're speaking.
Oh, okay. Well, we're getting a little angry now.
No.
No.
Get a little angry. Get a little hot under the. If you were wearing a collar like a lady would, you would be hot under it. But
Do not make me go Johnny J on. Do not make me. So, I had nothing to do with that, and Tamara knows I wasn't involved, and I don't know why you think I was involved.
Well, you sent Tamara and I cease and desist letters, and it was your signature. I will dig it up. I will remember the shape of the X
Move on. Are we really going to rehash things from 3 years ago, or do we want to live in the...
Are you going to write me a check for $300,000, Alexis? Because that's what I lost. And John Jansen was there the whole... Oh, wait, actually, hold on. He is texting me right this moment, and he says, oh, nope, that was my phone dying. It makes a buzz before it dies.
You knew the anguish I was going through. That's a lot of money to lose, Alexis. She goes, show me the letter then. Dig it up. Show me the letter. Show me the letter. Oh, you don't think you wrote it? Show me the letter. Show me the letter. Because I think what the real issue is that I have your ex-boyfriend, and that's the real issue. So guess what? You need to move on. Oh, okay. Hold on. I have a text from John. Bop. Oh, it's my ringtone. It's Hanson, actually. It's Hanson.
All this time I thought it was Jansen. Turns out it's Hanson. It's very, very, very different, it turns out. Okay, you know what? We're going to move forward in this relationship. And look, here's what's going to happen. I'm not going to talk to you anymore about that court case that has already been buried and done, much like your future with John Jansen himself. So I'm done with it. I'm out of money. It's not done for me. It is never done. Well, you're never going to get $1 from me. And if you don't like it, there's the door, Shannon Beador. Even though they're outside and there's no door. There's the door, Shannon Beador. I'm not talking about this.
Point really far. She's like, there's the door. And I love only Alexis.
Go down the hall, go down the arcade, make a right, then make another right. Okay, then there's going to be an awning. There's the door, Shannon Beador.
And it's clearly such a planned thing to say, but it's like even planning it, Alexis rhymed door with door. I mean...
and so Alexis starts to walk up. And this is Alexis Bellino for Fox News 6. Goodbye.
So she goes, well, thank you for taking John Jansen from me, Alexis. And she goes, and I'm thankful he left you. She goes, oh, Shannon turns straight to the camera and goes, oh, perfect.
Then Tamara's like, okay, everyone, they're coming back. Scatter like cockroaches. It just ends with Shannon going, fuck her.
Well,
wow.
I mean, I kind of liked it because, Shannon's usual MO is to be like, oh, you're bringing on Alexis Bellino. I refuse to film a scene with her. How dare you? And then they would get all this footage of Shannon yelling at all the crew and refusing to do the scene. And this time Shannon's like, I will not. I will show up with my revenge body and I will on a 360 camera. You watch me go, girls.
Oh, it was a tremendous premiere. Tremendous. It was just full of electricity. I absolutely loved it. I'm so excited for this season. Obviously, we're excited. We talked for 2 hours. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back next week with more Love Island and more Housewives, more everything. So we'll catch you then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
If you like Watch What Crappens, you can listen ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Across America, BP supports more than 300,000 jobs to keep our energy flowing. Jobs like expanding our biodiesel capacity in Washington state and reducing operational emissions in the Gulf of Mexico. It's and, not or. See what doing both means for energy nationwide at bp.com/investing in America.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Keke Palmer, your favorite quadruple threat actor, singer, dancer, and my new role, podcaster. My podcast, Baby This is Keke Palmer, is blowing up, y'all, because every episode I bring on an icon. Like when John Stamos and I talked about internet trolls hating on Disney adults, or when Jordan Peele explained why we love scary movies, even though the world is already creepy as fuck. Tune in to learn a little and laugh a lot, because your girl keeps it real. Listen on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.